Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here with another review for you. This time talking episode 5 of episode 13 of season 5 of Arrow, Spectre of the Gun. Tragically, this does not include a guest appearance by the Spectre, but thankfully does not include a guest appearance by the hero Gunfire, who is, if you're familiar with DC history, quite the joke in a lot of people's eyes. So, long and the short of it all is this is a kind of a big episode that's one of those very special episodes where people basically sit around and talk about gun control. And, well, I don't want to really get terribly political here, so we're just going to leave that aside. I do respect that the show genuinely did make the effort to show that both sides in this case do have useful points. And if you're not American, you have to understand that the right to bear arms is part of the Second Amendment of the Constitution. And as Americans, we are really raised to sort of very much revere these ideas. They're in the Constitution. They're the core of like everything we're supposed to be about as a country and a people. And anything that seems like it's messing with that in any way, shape, or form really gets people's hackles up in an incredible way. So while it was at times rather heavy-handed, I do appreciate, as I said, the fact that this episode did try to show that nobody in this debate is a wacko. All right, everybody is trying to do what they think is best so that people can be safe and be happy. They just disagree in what is the best way to approach that. And there's a lot more that can be said about that, but we're not going to get into that here. This is just us talking about a superhero show, okay? I do like how they also sort of use what's going on here to sort of raise some questions about what's going on with Oliver. Oliver interrogates the guy just as he's about to leave. Vigilante shows up and guns the dude down, and Vigilante even says to him, "I'm you. I just use a more efficient weapon." So, I mean, that's really a nice way of kind of incorporating what's going on there into the debate in this episode. It's also making us kind of go like, wait a minute, at this point, Adrian has been very seriously injured. Is it really him in that Vigilante costume? Because the dude's just been shot. And Vigilante has enough vim and vigor to go out there, kill a dude, and get away from Green Arrow. So, okay. So, let's see here. Dinah Diggle subplot. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling that one. I do like though that it did definitely bring a lot more humanity to Dinah. Just sort of the whole thing of like her just like, okay, I don't want to live in a hole. I actually want to have a place that makes me feel like a human being. And it's a simple thing, but it's a really nice touch. I mean, where a person lives tells you an awful lot about them. The things that they keep in their home tell you a great deal about them. So again, it's sort of some nice touches. And it did, after this stuff that happened in Russia, he did need something to sort of reestablish that he's actually a genuinely, at heart, a good and very nice person. Just not somebody you screw with, as evidenced by us, seeing him beat some lowlife half to death. Well, okay, just beat him, not really half to death. Also, some nice stuff this episode, spelling out Renee's backstory. I don't really remember. I remember I've read it somewhere, but I don't remember the details of it with Wild Dog's origin in the comics. Here, I mean, it's very simple, but it's very effective. He's just sort of doing this as one to kind of get revenge on the world that took his wife away from him, but also just because He's desperate for something to give his life meaning. He's lost his wife. His daughter was taken away from him. He's obviously a guy with issues. I mean, family services is not entirely wrong in saying that, being around Renee might not be the best thing for his daughter right now. I mean, look at the state of his apartment. So, and we have seen that Renee is a guy with a temper who does not always do a terribly great job of controlling it. But we've also seen that whatever his flaws, at the end of the day, Renee is a pretty decent guy. He does care about people, and he wants to do the right thing. He just doesn't always think things through terribly well, and lets his anger get the better of him. But he has been getting better, and he proves a surprisingly effective guy in his time doing his job at City Hall. One would have to think that being the assistant to the deputy mayor is going to be the sort of thing that would go over well with people in charge of child welfare. And, Curtis saying, like, hey, I've got a lawyer friend who's willing to help you out here. There's these two guys who definitely kind of butted heads. And seeing that Curtis is willing to kind of like, hey, man, I'm going to do you a solid just because, despite everything, we're cool. I mean, that really says something very good about Curtis. And you can understand kind of why Curtis might want to do this. I mean, being separated from someone that you love, like he is with his husband, I mean, that sucks. Now, granted, this is not a situation that, like, his husband left him for, pretty understandable reasons. Renee's daughter was taken from him, so someone leaving your life willingly and someone being taken out of your life are different things. But still, the pain and the loss, it's probably pretty similar. I also did like that moment between Quentin and Renee where he points out, like, hey man, you're a dishonorably discharged ex-military guy. Legally, you shouldn't be running around with a gun. So a nice little touch there. One thing that I will say though about the politics of this episode is Oliver makes this really great point when he's talking with the councilwoman, and he says that there are limits to all of our freedoms. There are limits on freedom of speech. Like, yeah, you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater unless the movie theater is actually on fire. You can't threaten people and claim it as free speech. There's limits on freedom of religion. You can't, steal things or kill people and just say, like, oh, it's my religion. My religion says it's okay for me to do that. No, I mean, that's not allowed. So all of the freedoms that we have as a society are great, but it is acknowledged that there are limits, that there need to be limits. There do need to be limits and rules. And the idea that owning a gun should be any different, I mean, that does seem kind of out there. That there should be some limits to it. Does not seem to be an unreasonable stance. And while it was, again, really heavy-handed, I do like how they pointed out that this whole gun issue was not something that the Green Arrow could sort out. It's the classic, Superman can't do everything. And sometimes, as a journalist, Clark Kent can do things that Superman cannot. And I really like stories like that because they remind us it's not just the superhero personas of these characters that can go out there and really make a big difference in the world. Who they are as just regular people can make good and important impacts as well. And again, it's very heavy-handed. But Oliver going out there and talking the guy down and getting him to surrender, I mean, that was cool. That was cool and all, but again, very heavy-handed. I did like that the councilwoman did basically say, like, okay, I'm going to go along with this, but later on I'm going to call in a big favor from you. So I don't know, if that's going to be a subplot in the future, or is this just sort of like thrown in there so it doesn't look like Oliver got everything he wanted too easily? I guess we'll have to see. But it does sort of show you just how much politics is the art of the possible, which is actually what I think Benjamin Franklin said about diplomacy, but close enough. Also nice to see Thea back after a long absence. So we'll see what having her back around comes up with. Also, I liked how they did some nice little subtle stuff implying that Felicity was getting information on that guy's wife who went into hiding. Well, the guy's mistress, I should say, that went into hiding with the help from her hacker collective, who, again, I just can't help but sense are going to be something far more than they appear to be. It would be really interesting if they turned out to be like the NSA or possibly some other evil organization from within the DC universe. Nothing really jumps to mind, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, with that said, I'm going to call it here. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Jedi Reviewer, and please also join me on Tumblr at Jedi. You can find me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi and on Tumblr at Jedi Reviewer. I think I might need to go and make myself a cup of coffee to sort of wake myself up a little bit more. It's still the morning when I'm recording this. So, I'm going to call it here. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Of course, I've already said that. Good guy. Goodbye.